Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL predictions segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about 2013-14 NFL picks for Week 6. First game I want to get to is going to be Chicago Bears at home. I'm going to pick them over the New York Giants. The Giants are floundering right now. Obviously, most of you know, 0-5 this season. They'll be 0-6 after this game, I believe. They're 3-10 in their last 13 dating back to last season. The team is dead last in, I believe, in points allowed per game, scoring defense, the turnover differential. They're at the bottom or very near the bottom right now. This team, Eli Manning, everything's, just seems to be falling apart. And I think the Bears are going to be hungry for a win after losing last week. And they will be ready for this game. They will defeat the Giants, I believe. Next game, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals on the road over the Buffalo Bills. Now, Cincinnati's been one of those fickle, unpredictable teams. They look like these supreme world beaters one week, then the next week they don't do much. But Buffalo has their starting QB Manuel out, and I believe that Cincinnati has more than enough personnel to be able to beat them. And the fact that Manuel is out will be a positive for the Cincinnati Bengals and enhance their chances. So I'm going to go with them in that game. Next game, I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns at home over the Detroit Lions. Now, Detroit might have a little more offensive firepower than Cleveland, but I think, Cleveland being at home, they're on a roll right now. They've won 3 in a row, and this team seems like it's not the doormat that it was once previously. Maybe we're seeing something, rejuvenation on this team. It seemed like when they got rid of, their, marquee player, they, a lot of things looked like were going to go against them, but it's been just the opposite for them. It seems like there's been a rejuvenation of sorts. We'll go with the Cleveland Browns. Next game, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're at home with the Oakland Raiders. The Kansas City Chiefs, #1 scoring defense right now. They have sacks, #1 in sacks with 21 in the league. The Oakland Raiders have relinquished 18 sacks, so they've had 18 sacks on them. I think this game we might see kind of one in the trenches a little bit. If Oakland can somehow hold back the defensive linemen and prevent many sacks in this game, they might have a chance. But I think that Kansas City, their defense is going to be a little bit too much for them to overcome, and the fact they are at home, so I'll take the Chiefs. Minnesota Vikings at home playing Carolina Panthers. Carolina's defense has really, it's been superlative. It has not been bad at all, but I believe Minnesota, they just seem to be able to, they just like they're playing just a little bit better than the Panthers right now. They are at home, and I think Minnesota is due to get a win in this game. I think they will get it. Now, the New York Jets at home, I'm going to take them over the Pittsburgh Steelers. There was a time in recent history where I would have gone just the opposite way, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, right now they're floundering. They're a team that really, it seems like they're a little banged up, or their offensive line has not played well. The Jets, they had some very good quarterback play from Geno Smith last week. He was really unflappable, 16 of 20 passing, no INTs. Now, if they can replicate what they did the last week, the New York Jets play conservative style, don't make turnovers and any huge mistakes or mishaps, and I think they'll be okay. And I think the Jets will pull this one out at home. I think it'll be a tight game, but I'm going to go with the Jets in this one, and I think Geno Smith will help jettison their way to victory once again. Next game, I'm going to take Philadelphia Eagles on the road over the Tampa Bay Bucks. It's just simply that Philadelphia has a very dominant running game right now. They are #1 in rushing yards. They have the league leader in rushing yards with LaShawn McCoy. I think it's going to be, hard for Tampa Bay to overcome this. I don't think their defense is going to be strong enough to contain the Philadelphia running attack. Tampa Bay is last in total offense right now as well, and I believe Philadelphia has more firepower. They get the victory. Next game, I'm going to take Green Bay Packers on the road over the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, has been kind of up and down, kind of like the Bengals, one of those sporadic, erratic teams. They do have the #1 punt return average in the league, like 16.4 yards per return. Field position can figure, prominently in this game. However, Green Bay does have Aaron Rodgers. I think he's due. He's going to have a breakout game, and I believe that the Green Bay Packers will win this one on the road against Baltimore. Next game, I'm going to take the Houston Texans at home over St. Louis. Houston just has a little more propensity to put up some offense. I don't know what's happened with quarterback Matt Schaub. He seems like he's having an interception epidemic going around or something. But I think he's going to be good enough in this game to beat the St. Louis Rams. I think if Houston scores 24, they should win this game. I see that happening, and Houston gets the win. Next game, heard a lot of talk about this past few days or so. Denver Broncos. I'm going to take them at home over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Don't be too shocked on that one, people. But Denver is #1 total offense and scoring offense. They're averaging around 45, I think 46 points a game. I mean, their offense has just been phenomenal, and has been playing at such it's almost unfathomable to see what they're doing. Peyton Manning has put up all these prodigious numbers. Jacksonville is last in scoring offense and next to last in total offense. Maurice Jones-Drew, the running back for the Jaguars, hasn't had too many, has not played really as far as his expectations go. He's been below expectations. I don't really see how, Jacksonville can really do much in this game, and they are on the road going against arguably the best team in the NFL. And Jacksonville, I think if I had power rankings, I'd put them at the bottom of the barrel at number 32. I don't know. They're talking about this, mammoth point spread and everything. It looks, historical proportions or something, or I don't know. But I think it's safe to say Denver will win this one. Next game, I'm going to take Seattle and their tenacious defense at home over the Tennessee Titans. Counting the preseason games from 2012, Seattle has won 14 consecutive home games. They are no joke at home. We can't say it's an aberration when it's that many in a row. The crowd is going to be very raucous and deafening. It's going to be hard for the Tennessee Titans to hear their plays called. I think it's going to create a monumental diversion for the Titans. The Titans have to hope with Ryan Fitzpatrick playing. If he don't commit any turnovers, that's going to be about the only chance they have, at least, to make this game competitive. I think it's going to be very hard, because even if Tennessee turns the ball over one time, there's a good chance Seattle can capitalize and go down the field and get a touchdown. So I'm going to take Seattle in this game. Next game, San Francisco over Arizona. It seems like the 49ers are starting to get their groove back. They look like, they're revived and rejuvenated. The last two games were very impressive victories, and I think San Francisco, from this point on in the season, they're going to be playing much better. I think they're in their rhythm. I think everybody's playing cohesively. They got their running game going, and it's setting up, better, pass plays for, and more completions for quarterback Colin Kaepernick. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. Next game, I'm going to take the New England Patriots at home over the New Orleans Saints. The New England Patriots, as much as we like to look at their offense, we talk about Tom Brady and everything, they are #2 in scoring defense right now at around near 14 points per game allowed. And the defense has been tremendous. It's been very, I guess overshadowed, because it seems like, we think of the Patriots, we think of Brady and all these passes and touchdown passes to the receivers and this and that. But, the defense, which may have been maligned in recent years, it's actually playing at a very high level. They are at home. New Orleans has a volatile, explosive offense. The Saints look like they're for real. They could very well be a Super Bowl contender. They're 5-0. But I think New England's going to be simmering after losing that game at Cincinnati last week. And they are at home. I think they'll find a way. Gronkowski, assuming he plays, that could make a big impact. I'll go with the Patriots at home. Next game, I go with the Dallas Cowboys at home over the Washington Redskins. And I don't know if this really needs much analysis. This is just the simple fact that, Dallas to me looks like they're pretty much the best team right now in the NFC East. And the Redskins, though they don't necessarily look deplorable, they don't look like they're really, they're what they were last season with Griffin. I don't think this is the same team that we saw last season. And I think Dallas at home, they did everything but beat Denver last week. They're more than capable of beating the Redskins at home. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. Last but not least, this one is kind of one of those ones I've been very ambivalent on and going back and forth. But I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts on the road over the San Diego Chargers. It's going to be a very tough game. I see this game could go down to the final possession, or at least the final few minutes of the game. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck, we know that it's more than just providential now. His play, he's leading. He has had a number of fourth quarter comebacks from last year until this point in time. We've seen progression and maturation from him. He seems like every game I'm seeing him at, he seems more composed and poised, and he's really, growing up very quickly in the NFL. And I think Indianapolis Colts could be a legitimate contender to come out of the AFC. If it's not Denver, they might very well do it. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts on the road over San Diego Chargers. Chargers will put up some points, but I think Indianapolis will put up a few more. We could be looking at a game like 30-27 or something, Indy. Anyway, those are my picks for this coming week, Week 6 for the NFL 2013-14. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving my analysis for Week 7 for the 2013-14 NFL season. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.